Hello children, hope everyone is fine at home and I welcome you to third session of Maths class. And this is going to be the last session for this chapter, Introduction to Graphs. Before getting into the session, let us begin with a good thought. Don't watch the clock. We teachers don't like you people seeing the clock. But now we are happy that you see time to attend the class eagerly. Okay, now coming back to the quote, don't watch the clock, do what it does. What do the clock does? It just keep going on without any break. So we have to keep going in our learning process and also in our other activities, even though we are shut down from our regular routines. Okay, my dear children? Okay, let us have a small recap of all the things that we have learned in previous sessions. To begin with, we started with graphs. Graphs are used to represent the collected data. Am I right, children? Yes. How many types of graphs we have learned so far? Starting from bar graph. This bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. There will be different categories and it is used to show and it is used to compare two categories or more than two categories. Okay. Now when I come to pie chart or pie graphs or circle graphs, these are used to compare parts of a whole. All the categories can be put under the one whole. For example, if I say marks of an individual, that individual is a whole. Am I clear to you, my dear children? Here also I compare categories of that child. So a pie graph is used to compare among categories and it is a parts of a whole. Okay. Now what other things we have learned? Histogram. Very good. A histogram is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. When we have intervals, we cannot go in for bar graph or pie chart. Only we can do is histogram. Okay, children, are you able to recall the difference between bar graph and histogram? In bar graph, we will have space between each and every bars. Whereas in histogram, we will not have any gap. All the bars will come continuously together. Okay, children. Now the last one that a line graph. A line graph displays data that changes continuously over period of time. When I consider histogram, it resembles histogram. Where in histogram you will have bars, in line graph we will not have bars. It is also continuous. Histogram is also continuous. Is it clear, my dear children? We can have more than one line graph in the same graph sheet. It is possible. But can I have more than one histogram in the same graph sheet to compare two different histograms? Yes, children, we can have, but it will overlap each other. And it will not be clear. To make it clear, we will go in for frequency polygon that you will learn in higher classes. It is something extension of histogram. Okay, children. Now for time being, you will not be doing that. Now the thing which we have learned in previous class is linear graph. What is linear graph? It is also a line graph. It is also a line graph which is a whole unbroken line. It will not break. It will not be in zigzag position. Is it clear, my dear children? Then it is called a linear graph. It will be a straight line. To fix points on the graph sheet, we should know two things. What is the new word that we learned in previous session? We learned coordinates. How many coordinates we have? X coordinate and Y coordinate. Who introduced this coordinate system? Very good. Are you answering me? If you don't remember, take back your book, refer it and get the answer. It is Rene Descartes. To honor him, what is the name given for this system of positioning a point? It is Cartesian system. These things we learned in previous session. And today, what is the new word that we are going to learn in this chapter is abscissa and ordinate. What is it? Abscissa and ordinate. Dear children, don't search for these words in your book. It is not in your book, but I felt you will be happy to learn something new that is not in your book and which is of higher classes. Isn't it? Okay. What is abscissa? It's very simple. Words may look little bit tricky and something new, funny, but it is very simple. What we have already learned. It is nothing but x coordinate and y coordinate. I have given you another name of x coordinate and y coordinate. X coordinate is called as abscissa. Y coordinate is an ordinate. X coordinate and y coordinate is always a number because they will come along x axis and y axis. Okay. Now you have to answer me this question. What is the abscissa and ordinate in the point 3, 2? What is abscissa? It is 3. What is ordinate? 2. Hope it is clear, my dear children. Even if I use the word x coordinate, y coordinate, abscissa, ordinate, you should be familiar with these words. X coordinate, abscissa. Y coordinate, ordinate. Is it clear, my dear children? Now, let us see a new concept for today. It is very simple how these x coordinate, y coordinate are used in day-to-day life, how it is related to graph. That's what we are going to see today. What do you see here now, my dear children? It's a car. It's a very nice car. Okay. To have this car, we should, to run this car, to drive this car, we should fill it up with fuel. It can be petrol or diesel, or you may go in for solar cars, any kind of, but it should have fuel, isn't it? The number of liters of petrol you buy to fill a car's petrol tank will decide the amount you have to pay. It's very simple. If I have to fill it up with 20 liters of petrol, I have to pay the amount of 20 liters. It all depends upon how much petrol I am filling in. The amount depends upon how much petrol I fill in. How much petrol I have to fill depends upon how far I have to travel. Is it clear? Amount depends on quantity of petrol. Amount depends on quantity of petrol. Quantity depends on distance that I have to travel. So, we are now going to learn again two more terms. One is dependent variable and independent variable. In this above statement, amount depends on quantity. Amount is depending on quantity. I have two factors. One is amount, another one is quantity. Amount is also variable, quantity is also variable. As mathematicians are smart enough, they will not be using this word as it is everywhere. They will simplify this as A with a symbol and they say it as variable. Isn't it? Yes. Similarly, quantity. Every time will they write quantity throughout the problem while solving some real life algebraic problems? No, we go in for small letters in algebra. Isn't it? Now I am linking over algebra here in this graph. So in maths, all the chapters are interlinked. Okay, this is one variable. Amount is a variable. Quantity is a variable. Why it is a variable? It changes as the amount changes, or amount changes as the quantity changes. They are not fixed. But if I say the value pi is equal to 3.14, will it change? No, it will not change. Such a thing are called as constants. Now I am talking about variables alone. Okay children, amount is depending on quantity. So amount is a dependent variable. What will you say, that what name will you give for quantity now? Very good, it is independent variable. Okay, these things are there in your textbook, but this will be discussed in deep in the chapter direct variations and also in algebra. Okay, now let us get into some real life applications, how dependency takes upon. Interest depends on deposit. How much I deposit, that much amount I get interest for that amount. Similarly, it also depends upon saving. Okay, or how much I have borrowed. Interest depends on borrowed amount also. Time depends on distance. Depending upon the distance, time differs. To travel to Delhi, it may take 6 hours. But to travel to USA, it may take more than 15 to 16 hours or even 24 hours. I am not sure. It all depends upon how many flights we are going to have it. So time depends on distance. Similarly, time depends on speed. If I go fast, I will take less time. Where the distance is fixed. Cost depends on quantity. Each and every sentence has two variables. Time, distance, time, speed, cost, quantity, cost, demand, temperature, time, area, depends on dimension. It depends upon length and breadth. Isn't it, my dear children? Okay, now let us get into a problem where we have two variables, time and distance. Draw the graph with suitable scales on the axis. This chapter deals only with graphs, but I have linked over all the other chapters. Okay, you should also be capable of doing these things. Time is a variable, distance is also a variable. Which is a dependent variable? Depends upon the distance, time varies. Okay, now I have to draw a graph. Shall we start doing it? Take a graph note, draw x-axis and y-axis. Now what scale I should choose? Time in hours. At 6 a.m. it is 40. 7 a.m. it is 8. So along x-axis you can have time. Along y-axis you can have hours. So first box you can have, I will leave two box and place, or one box. It all depends how you design. Here 1 point, here 40, here 60, here 80, here 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. Then for here I am not going in for right from the beginning of the hour. So I am in between, I am starting with 6. So I have to have a jagged line here. Okay. Then now start plotting the points. How to plot the points? What is there for 6 a.m. it is 40. For 6 a.m. it is 40. 20, 40. So here you will get first point. Okay. I will just mark 1, 2, 3 because I couldn't write using this mouse. Then for 7 a.m. it is 80. For 7 it is 80. This is second point. Now then I have 8 a.m. I have 120. 8, 120. Okay, I have skipped I think. Here you will get 2. Here you will get third point. Then you will have 120. Okay, likewise if you plot, you will get a straight line. Join this. Okay, my dear children. This straight line help us to decide the previous or the old content. Okay, my dear children, let me continue the same graph in next video. Thank you.